All right, everyone, share this with as many people as you can. This is not something to ignore. I don't know if this is definite or not. I haven't received any kind of divine message or realization or anything, or revelation. I don't know what it is. It's just some things are kind of adding up. Based on what I read, popped up. So if I am right, maybe God was just letting me know something, because God created me. God created how I am and everything. Well, mostly. A lot of things that go wrong, pollution and whatnot, that mess me up, and people that mess me up. A lot of that's the devil. But God has something I learned about God is He doesn't control everything. He has domain everything. Things only happen with His permission. Kind of like, here, I'm gonna drop this rock, right? Did God actually make that rock fall, or did He allow it to fall? That's the thing, you know. He doesn't. It's not like He causes everything to happen. It's just sometimes He just allows things to happen. So He can make anything happen He wants, but He doesn't make everything that happens happen. Sometimes He just allows them. Anyway, I'm thinking, I know it sounds crazy, but just hear me out. Listen to everything I'm about to say for my reasoning. I think the 3 days of darkness will happen next week. We're looking at, I think, around the week that includes the 7 or August 28th. So there's the 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th. So the 28th through 7. So basically the 20th of August into early September. Somewhere in there we might have the 3 days of darkness. Why I say that is actually a bit based on science. I know there's a clash between science and religion, but I don't think God ever said anything specifically against science. Because you think about it, there was a lot of science used to create, you got math and everything. Even the Bible uses math for instructions, right? Jesus was a carpenter. Science would have created the tools. Jesus was a carpenter. Science would have created the tools. Math would have allowed him to do the work the way it needed to be done. So I don't think God was ever against science and math. It's just how people will use it sometimes. It's like a hammer. Is God against a hammer? No. Has a hammer ever been used to harm people? Well, yeah. So it's like that. Anyway, I keep digressing. But there was an article from NASA. But you hear a lot about, like, government agencies and will not warn you something's going to happen, but not really telling you how serious it is. Right? And then they start rambling off later about, in the articles, these mainstream media individuals now sound like a conspiracy theorist, but listen to me all the way out and then decide. So a lot of times they'll tell you these dangers that can be coming and give you an idea when they might happen, and then they kind of play it off saying, oh, well, you don't have to worry, because they found that however you are at the end, experience whatever emotions you experience at the end affects how you would remember things. Kind of like when they used to do the tube up your butt for a proctologist would do that to check for polyps and stuff before they would put you under. They would just leave the tube in there for a little while, and people felt better about the experience because it wasn't as bad at the end. So they didn't just pull it out, left it in there for a little bit. People felt better. That's the way these articles are written a lot. But NASA put out a report, apparently according to the article, that says something about from Mars or something. But they saw there's a sunspot, a really darn big one, on the opposite side of the sun, right? And they're tracking it, and they said it would looks like it could be facing us next week. Next week, starting August 20th. So somewhere there. And that if it goes off and does a CME, a coronal mass ejection, it would be powerful enough to knock down the grid for a few days. So if you think about it, a few would be, if we think about it, typically 3 or 4. People say differentiate on what a few is, but a lot of people believe a few would be 3 or 4. Well, 3 days of darkness. 3 is within a few. Grids don't going down, man-made lights don't go up. We're down. And it's because of all the electromagnetic radiation that hit us, all kinds of systems would be fried, electronics would be fried, so all kinds of lights would be destroyed. Phones getting hot and everything. So all the stuff would go down. So that fits too. But the final thing I can think of is, I hadn't read the Apocrypha. I gotta read that and just figure out what's going on. But there was a story on Great Miracles Avenue, right, that spoke of where a woman was shown what to look out for the 3 days of darkness. And she spoke of rainbows that were circles but didn't look like rainbows, right? They were rainbows that looked like rainbows, but they weren't rainbows and circles in the sky. So that made me realize, wait, Aurora Borealis, the northern lights, or southern lights in your south hemisphere, those lights. Well, what's that cause? Well, what's that caused by? It's caused by solar radiation and electromagnetic radiation hitting the Earth's atmosphere, right? Things have been picking up like crazy. So, and they were talking about how when we got hit by some of the sunspots already, how it actually pushed the lights farther down. The northern lights, because they're so hit with so much, that they got pushed down farther than they were supposed to be, right? So if we think about it, we get hit by a major sunspot, that would knock down the power grids around us for a few days. That would push the northern lights down. The northern lights look like a rainbow even though they're not, and they're in the sky, and it'd be in the darkness, and this solar radiation hits the atmosphere, makes really big northern lights, which get pushed down way down south, way farther than they're supposed to be. They look like a rainbow. If you've ever seen videos of them, they can look like a rainbow, and they go around the Earth as a circle. You look up the northern lights, even though they're way up north, it is a circle that looks like a rainbow in the sky. You got the lights going off for, NASA said, a few days. I mean, a lot of that fits. And it's like not just what they said in the Bible, not just what this woman said God showed her, but even science is saying, well, it was because of what we recorded. You've got a circle that would be in the sky. We're going to be, if we're hit by that solar radiation, things are going down. We got darkness. It'd be for a few days, so 3 or 4. So we're going to be down for a few days. This circle in the sky, right? And would look like a rainbow, and they do look like a rainbow. But they're not a rainbow. It's like, and no man-light lights, because they're all fried. They're all fried by the sun hitting us. So, few days of darkness, something that looks like a rainbow in the sky that's a circle, but it's not a rainbow. Few days down, all kinds of lights fried. And the fact that Anonymous, I know this is way out there, but Anonymous keeps letting us know, well, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. So a lot of it matches up. And Anonymous was not that long ago put out a video about how, how do you call it? How, a Carrington event, which you can look that up elsewhere. It's really interesting. That actually has been recorded. So the Carrington event would just completely fry all kinds of stuff and pull us way back in time. And they did a video on that recently, so it's like, wait, all this stuff is adding up. So is a 100% certainty on my end? No, but a lot of it looks pretty darn suspicious. That's like, next week we may in fact have the 3 days of darkness. So I haven't had any divine revelation. I don't feel like that. It's just something that's like clicked in my head. I know I sound crazy, like I'm, you know, hallucinating or delirious or whatever the term is. But just listen to what I say as a fact. You know, circle in the sky, looks like a rainbow, but it doesn't. But it isn't, right? Circular rainbow that isn't a rainbow. Could be the northern lights pushed way down. No man-made lights, because everything's tried. You know, and the third thing is NASA even said it would be for a few days. Go down for a few days. 3 was within what they would consider, was within what people would consider a few. So it's like things are looking towards what the Bible wrote about the 3 days of darkness. So after I get off, I'm gonna wait till I get the bus. I'm gonna stack up in war when I get home. Gonna, you know, get a bunch of stuff cooked up, because it's like, gotta stack up on a lot of stuff, get things ready. I live downtown there, Catholic church is downtown. I'm going to get stuff blessed. Things are not looking good, guys. Just remember that it just kind of adds up. It's making no sense. Anyway, I gotta go. Bye.